from here to here it is 3.5, and we know from here to here it is 14. From out of 14 we know this is 7, so this must be 7. So 7 plus 3.5, it is equal to 10.5. So what is the answer? 10.5 east.
East.
Okay, now we move to question number 14. Had Amaya taken a right turn instead of taking a left turn?
Sir,
Please.
last question, last point once repeat.
Idena 13 12.
10.5.
How did we get 10.5, right? So
Last step.
what is that? What is the distance between Q and R?
Q and R 14.
14. Sure, this is clear. After that, if you look here, I will use another color so that it will be clear to you. So Q and R it is 14, and from R it is 2.5. Then again left turn, then it is 7. Yes or no? So from
Yes,
Q
sir.
to R it is 14. From S to T it is
7.
7. That means at this point, crossing point, what is the distance from Q to this point?
7.
7. Okay, agreed. And this will be
Yes,
7. 7 plus 7 is 14. The same thing will be there between P and V.
okay, sir.
Now Q, P, this U and this crossing point, they are a rectangle, right? So this is 7. This also must be 7. From here to it is given 3.5. So 7 plus 3.5 is equal to 10.5. Amma, is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's good. I'm happy whenever someone is asking questions, right? Right. Question number 14. Had Amaya taken a right turn instead of taking a left turn from point to T? So let us see what exactly happened. So from S, Amaya has come to T after 7. So here we have to focus. Reaches point T, then he takes left again. So what is given here? Originally, he took left turn after reaching this T junction or T point T. He took left and he continued the journey like this. Now there is an amendment to this in this question number 14. Had Amir taken a right turn instead of taking a left turn from point T while reaching, okay, everything else is the same. So everything else is same means we need to continue his journey from that particular point. Okay, so this I will take another ink this time. Go with the red. So from T he took a left turn and he traveled for how many? 7.5. Yes or no? Walks for 7.5 and reaches point U. Now he takes right turn. So he takes right turn and continues his journey for how many meters? 7.5. He takes left again. Now you have to say right. Walks 7 point, reaches point U. So this will be the new point. Okay. Then he takes left again, walks for 3.5 meter to reach point V. This is the new arrangement. Then what is the question? In what direction would point V? Okay. So had Amir taken right turn instead of taking a left turn from point T while reaching everything else the same, in what direction would point V? So we have to see where is V. So with respect to the starting point, okay? So where do you put him? Simple, always go by this north, east,
Not.
south. Okay, so P is here, then he traveled up to Q point, then it is 14, but middle point is 7. So it will be like this, P, then he moved Q, from Q, Somewhere it is total it is 14, but here it is 7. From they gone somewhere, then it is 3.5. So here is V. That means if you see where V is it north? No, it is falling short of 3.5. Is it east? Absolutely no. So it is in between north and east. So what should be the answer?
3.5.
I told you
because
yesterday.
northeast.
If it is not perfect north, it is not perfect east, you must consider it as northeast. So the answer is choice number 3. Okay. So this is a bit tough question because he's changing the rule after you started solving it. Okay. Fine. Comfortable? Can we move to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Question number 15. Sudha travels 8 kilometers to the south. Somewhere is starting. So Sudha started traveling towards south
బయట నుంచి వచ్చి మన
8
పిల్లల్ని కొలుస్తుంది
kilometers. Then
కర్రీలు
she turns to right. When someone is coming from north to south, right, and walks for 4 kilometers. Then again she turns her right and moves 8 kilometers. In how many kilometers away is she from the starting point? This is the starting point. Whenever they ask how many kilometers from the starting point, we are supposed to
పెట్టేడాడు
take the
కోడి
nearest.
పిల్లల కోడి
We have to take only the nearest distance.
So that also at
That is
kilometers
that
south.
goes
She turns
without
to the
any
right.
unwritten rule. Nearest goal. So this is 8. This is 8. So it looks like a rectangle. So what will be the distance between these 2 points?
4.
Parallel to this, it must be 4. So the answer is choice number 3. Okay. So with this we have completed the direction part, and we will start a new topic, that is equality and inequality. Okay. I advise you to refer the PDF and solve the remaining questions, and I will provide you the answers if needed, the explanation also. Okay, don't worry about it. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is visible now, day 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this topic is known as equality, inequality. Very quite interesting, and all of you can solve it because you have necessary inputs with you. A typical question looks like this. Don't try to read it to solve it, just look at it. There will be directions. In the following question, symbols so and so, at the rate, copyright, hash, dollar, and percent. Even you do not know the name of the symbol, you can solve the questions, right? You just identify. Okay, they are used with a different meaning. P copyright Q means P is either smaller than or equal to Q. That is the meaning. That means here the meaning is in the form of code. So we can also call this model as coded equality, coded inequality models. After that, they are asking now in each of the following questions, assuming the given statements to be true. This is very, very important. You cannot ask how at the rate can become either smaller than or equal to how. Now you cannot have any answer, because in this model you are supposed to assume it to be true. Find which of the conclusion 1 and 2 given below them is or are definitely true. What is the meaning of definitely true? That means there is no doubt about it. Beyond any reasonable doubt, you can pass it. Then we call it as definitely true. So you have to pick up the choices. One, if only conclusion 1 is true. If conclusion 2 is true but not the one, then number 2. If either 1 or 2, only at a time, either 1 or 2, both cannot be untrue together, both cannot be true also together, at that time choice number 3. Neither 1 nor 2, choice number 4. Both are valid, choice number 5. This order is not common for every exam, they may change different order. Sometimes they may give number 5 as only one or number 3 as only two. So you have to look at the given conclusions, then pick up the answer. Now a question will be looking like this. Okay, statements are given and conclusions are given, and you are supposed to find out whether conclusion 1 is valid, 2 is valid, both are valid, neither or either are, something like this you need to decide. This is the structure of a question. The moment you look at it, it looks very big, but don't worry about the size. We have an approach. The tree may be very huge, very long, but we have a very powerful axe. That is our approach. With that, we can solve the question. So this is the model. Then let us see the basics of this particular model. It is a statement and conclusion model because they have given it very clearly, given statements and also conclusion. So we call it as statement and conclusion model. All of you have to copy down each sentence that is coming on the screen now. So in statement and conclusion model, we are supposed to understand the statement, and then we are supposed to check the validity of the given conclusion. What is the meaning of validity? Validity means whether we can declare the given conclusion as valid or invalid. If you are in a position to decide that, that means you are checking the validity of the given conclusion. After checking the validity, you will be coming out with a clear a category like valid or not valid. That is known as checking the validity. Now there is a statement like this, and there is a conclusion. Sometimes they give two, they can give n number of conclusions. There is no restriction that they can give only one or two or three or four. In one examination, they have given us 6 conclusions. We are not bothered about the number of conclusions because how to evaluate or how to check the validity of each conclusion, we have an approach, and same approach we apply. If there are 2 conclusions, we apply it twice. If there are 3 conclusions, we apply it thrice. Okay, the methodology will not change basing on the number of conclusions. And always remember, conclusion is always drawn from the statement. Okay, conclusion is always drawn from the statement. That means first statement is made, then only we can draw a conclusion from the statement. It cannot be in the reverse way. Okay, don't think that statement can be made basing on conclusion. No, conclusion always drawn from the statement. Then how to decide the validity? Now here is the process. First understand the meaning of the given statement. Whatever statement is given, you go through it, try to understand the meaning completely. This is what you are supposed to do. Then understand the meaning of the given conclusion also. So now you understood the meaning of the statement, meaning of the conclusion. Now you try to compare these meanings. If the meaning of the given conclusion is part of meaning of the statement beyond any doubt, then declare that conclusion as a valid conclusion. Otherwise, declare that conclusion as not valid. Now look at the diagram. Now conclusion 1. This is conclusion 1. This is the meaning of the conclusion. If meaning of the conclusion is within the statement, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to declare it as valid. Look at conclusion number 2. Is it within the meaning of the statement? No, it is outside the statement meaning. That means meaning of the conclusion is not part of meaning of the statement. Then we declare conclusion 2 as not valid. It is so simple. We need to understand the statement. What is the meaning? We need to go through the conclusion. What is the meaning? Try to compare. If meaning of the conclusion is part of meaning of the statement, we declare it as valid. If meaning of the conclusion is outside the meaning of the statement, we declare it as not valid. Anytime you have a doubt, that means that conclusion cannot be called as valid. To declare a conclusion as valid, beyond any doubt, we should be able to see the meaning of the conclusion in the statement. Okay, so if the conclusion has 2 different meanings, and both the meanings are part of the statement, then you declare it as valid. If one meaning is valid and the other meaning is not valid, declare it as not valid. Okay, I appreciate if you copy down it fast because we are going to refer it. Okay, this is like a reference manual. So for this model, we are going to refer these steps. Okay, can I move to next slide?
Yes, sir.
Now the basics. Now all of you are aware of these symbols. Okay, this is greater than, this is less than, this is equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, this is not equal to. So these symbols are very familiar with all, all of you are aware of that. So when there is a statement like this, A is greater than B. So what are the meanings that you can generate from this? First meaning is A is greater than, okay, greater than B. This one meaning. What can be the other meaning?
B is smaller.
B is
B is
less
less than.
than, less than A.
A.
So
Yeah.
whatever is the larger than, less than, smaller than. Now what else you can derive?
A and B are not equal.
Not A is not equal to B. Similarly,
B
B
is
is not equal
to
to
A.
A. So these are all the derived meaning. All are one and same. Sometimes paper setter will pick up direct meaning. Sometimes he will give us the indirect meaning. Okay. We should be able to interchange and we should be able to understand the complete meaning the moment we go through it. Okay. Similarly, if we say C is less than D, what is the meaning of that? D is greater than C. Okay. C is not equal to B, not equal to D, D is not equal to D, and D are not equal to each other. Okay. So like this, then we have E greater than or equal to F. What is the meaning of that? It has two meanings. What are they? E is greater than F, then E is equal to.
F.
Both are correct. So this statement has two meanings. If this is given in the conclusion, this conclusion is having two meanings. That is what you need to understand. I told you in the previous slide, if a conclusion has two meanings, both of them should be valid in the given statement. Similarly, if a statement has two meanings, the given conclusions they have to be declared as valid only when those conclusions are valid in both meanings of the statement. Okay, that means beyond any reasonable doubt. Clear? So when if they give you this one, what is the meaning of that? So G is not equal to H. Then what is the meaning of that?
G में G
G is greater than H. This is one probability. G is
G
less
is
than
less
H.
than H.
This is one probability. Both are possible. Okay. So this is what we are going to use this in this topic, and we are going to mark, score 5 marks in it. Normally in competitive examination, they give it this model for 5 marks. Okay. And unfortunately, many students are not able to handle this because they do not have powerful approach. Okay. So this is the basic. Now I would like to apply this in the form of statement and I want to check it. Now, if I give an equation like this, A is greater than B, B is greater than C is greater than D. So far we discussed when there are only two elements. Now there are four elements. Now if I ask you what is the relation between A and D, what is your answer?
Greater.
Greater than
D.
So A
Greater.
is greater than B is greater than C is greater than D. That means A must be greater than D.
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 In the conclusion, if they give D is less than A, is it valid or not valid?
Valid, sir. Valid, sir.
valid.
It is not it is a computer examination, not a high school examination. So what do? They try to make things bit tough for you. So we know that A is greater than D, but in the conclusion, they may give D less than A. So the moment we know that A is greater than D, we should be ready with all possible answers of this particular relation between A and D. We know that A greater than D is as good as saying D less than A. So we declare that, yeah, this is valid. Okay. So this is one particular point. Now, if you look at the second one, what is your answer? E greater than F. So if there are only two, we are very happy. We know the value. The second one is E greater than F greater than or equal to G. Now, what is the relation between E and G?
Greater, sir.
Greater is, sir.
So we need to understand, okay, E greater than F. So that is clear. F and G, there are two possibilities. What are the two possibilities? F greater than G, F is equal to G. So you put E here, sorry, E here, E greater than F greater than G, that will result E greater than G. Fine. If you look at the second meaning, E greater than F is equal to G. When F is equal to G, G can come in the place of F, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We can replace F with G because both are same. Then what will be the resultant? E greater than F, same thing. That means even though there are two different meanings between F and G, in both cases, the relation between E and G is given as E greater than G. That means if the conclusion they give E greater than G, is it valid or not valid? Okay, fine. In both cases, E is greater than G. That is clearly established. So we can declare this one E greater than G as valid. If they give G less than E, yeah, that is also as good as saying E is greater than G. So this is how we have to be careful while handling this. Now let us look at the third example. In third example, it is given I less than J less than or equal to K equal to L. Now let us see the relation between I and K. So what we do in the examination, even though there are two meanings, we will not be putting everything on paper because once we are familiar with the concept, we can do like this. I less than J less than K is equal to L. This is one meaning. Another meaning is I less than J equal to K equal to L. This is another meaning because J and K can have two meaning. So what we see, less than, yeah, here is also less than. Now we know that I can be less than, I is less than K, one meaning. If J is equal to K can come in the place of J. That means at that time also I less than K. That means in both the cases between I and K, the relationship is same, that is less than. So we can say I less than K or K greater than I. These two are valid. Okay. Now can we say I is equal to K?
No, sir.
No, sir.
We cannot, because here less than is given. When less than is given, that is not equal to, okay. So we, by looking at it, we say no, it is not valid. Okay, fine.
Okay, sir.
Next one. M greater than N less than P. Now, what is the relation between M and P? Think about it.
M equal to P.
Equal or less?
Okay, so what are you thinking? Is it greater than? Is it less than? Is it equal to?
Equal to, sir.
Equal to.
No.
Okay, I will give one example. 10 is greater than 8. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
8 is less than 9. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
8 is less than 10. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
8 is less than 11. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So 8 is less than 9. Perfect. 8 is less than 10. Perfect. 8 is less than 11. Perfect. In these three possibilities, if you compare 10 and 9, 10 is greater than 9, 10 is equal to 10, 10 is less than
Then 11.
11. That means these three relationships, all three are possible. That is what you need to understand. All these are possible. So whenever you have a combination like this, between M and P, all three are possible. When all three are possible, if they give only one, suppose in the conclusion, they said M is greater than P, we say not valid. Suppose they say only M is less than P, we say not valid. If they say M is equal to P, we say not valid. Okay, M and P is also not valid. And in the choices, if they give choice number 1, M is greater than P, choice number 2, M is less than P, choice 3, M is equal to P, choice number 4, any one of them, or it is given either 1 or 2 or 3. The correct answer is choice number 4. Okay, so what we are going to pick up is also dependent on the combination of choices. If choice number 4 is not there, we say not valid. If choice number 4 is there, either 1 or 2 or 3, that is the perfect answer. Okay, so normally many others, many speakers, teachers, they say that no relation exists between M and P, but that is not a proper statement. There is relation. That relation is either 1 or 2 or 3, either greater than or less than or equal to. That is the relation. So we use this combination M greater than N, N less than P. Similarly, the next one, Q less than R greater than S. These two combinations, as we declare it as deadlock. The moment you spot them, you need to check the choices. In the choices, if all the three are not given, only one is given or two are given, we cannot move forward. That is why we call it as deadlock. So deadlock combinations are seen in the statements. The moment you see a spot, a deadlock, what you are supposed to do, you have to check the choices. If all the three meanings are given and it is either one or two, three, something like that, then that would be the perfect answer. If only one is given or two is given, that means either greater than or they have given only less than, then we say it is not a perfect answer. Okay. So deadlock, what is deadlock? Both sides, okay, m greater than n less than. So both, one is greater than, one is less than. Here one is less than, one is greater than. These two combinations help us to solve the question very quickly. Any question?